Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm at a very special place. It's so close to my heart. It's a place called Our Sacred Space. It's right in the heart of the city. Open green space with um, places like this where you can learn any art and craft that you want to. This is where I learned Mohiniyattam. I think close to about a year and a half. And I used to love coming to this place. It's got such a vibe. I have seen a lot of plays here. I have seen a lot of dances. I've seen a lot of concerts. Oh my God, this place is so beautiful, and we are here today to meet Tara, who owns this place. And I've always been in awe of Tara. She has this huge space right in the middle of the city, and she decided to convert this into an art and cultural space. Oh my God, this is a real treat. I've learned guitar here as well, and still love coming here. I just simply love coming to this place. Look at these books. The founder of Our Sacred Space, Nayantara, is an environmental engineer by qualification and an accomplished Odissi dancer who's performed at various platforms. Tara created Our Sacred Space to make a space that nurtures creative expression, wellness, inclusion, and environmental consciousness, to support an individual's personal evolution through interdisciplinary processes: dance, yoga, natural living, pottery, permaculture, music, art, craft, theatre, and inner work that leads to personal transformation resulting in social action. Our Sacred Space offers an interface for teachers, practitioners, and learners. Hello and welcome back to my channel where I bring you ordinary lives and extraordinary spirits. We have a very special guest here today. This is Tara, and Tara owns Our Sacred Space here in Secunderabad. So Tara, can you give us a brief about yourself, please?
So, I'm an environmental engineer. I love nature, and I think that was. I also love the arts. So, from those two interests came Our Sacred Space.
Okay.
So, what we did here at Our Sacred Space when we constructed it was we looked at every material that we used, and we used the most benign materials. So the most harmless, the one that when I started, I did not plan to use mud. But as I looked at each of our construction materials, and from my past experience, I had actually studied their properties, which typically, actually, I don't know that in our civil engineering or environmental engineering curriculum, we actually look so deeply at the properties. It so happened that I was working on a project which was over a big water body. It was a large bridge, and for that I just happened to be also got the responsibility of looking after the stormwater pollution prevention, in addition to the civil engineering work. So at that point we actually looked at how does it impact us? If you have a spill into the waterway, what is the impact of cement slurry going into the water? It's deadly, right? It's going to kill fish. It's going to. What happens if petroleum goes into the water? We all know that. So as we looked over the course of my work, as we looked at various, or even when we were working on environmental assessments, if there was a gas station, what's the kind of environmental impact? Decades later, the contamination remains. Or a paint shop. So paint is such a hazardous material. So as we looked at our materials, and really these are materials that we are using in our spaces. It's not a material that we use in some exclusive situation.
Yes.
These are materials we are using every day,
Everywhere. Yeah.
all around us, and exposing our nearest, dearest, most vulnerable, um, you know, humans, whether it's babies or seniors. We are exposing ourselves to this. So, how do we rethink our interiors? How do we rethink our construction, renovation habits? And so we really worked authentically and broke a lot of I think some of the perceptions, because when I asked a contractor initially to use, I wanted to use local, uh, both the workers and the materials. So when I suggested these red oxide floorings and maybe some mud floorings and mud plaster, the contractors ran away and said, "This is not possible.
Not everyone is equipped to build something like this."
So yes, so then I worked with the labor directly, and it's been 10 years. We've had tremendous learning here. And what I love about this space is that right now you can hear the chanting of the Bharatanatyam
class going on here.
Right? Similarly, the very same space will hold, it could hold 5-6 classes in the course of a day. And that is actually a wonderful way to use space. Instead of having 5 floors, you have the same space used by multiple people. And for each person who comes in, it's their space. So there is a feeling of belonging, really connecting.
Hence our sacred space. The
Yes.
name. It is. So this is the engineer in Tara talking. So Tara, what is your professional background?
I'm a civil and environmental engineer.
Okay.
And I worked for 12 years. I studied in the US, I did my master's, and then I worked.
You worked in a corporate, proper corporate?
Yeah, it was a environmental and geotechnical engineering company. And
were you a dancer by then? Were you learned?
Yes, I had learned dance as a child, and I was also into sports growing up. And then I loved Odissi. One of my friends, Keshni, was learning dance, and so I would go, and actually for a while I watched the class. I did other forms of dance. I thought.
So this was as a child?
No, this is as an adult.
Okay.
In the US.
In the US, okay.
So
did you dance in the US?
Yes, I learned Odissi in the US.
Oh, you learned Odissi in the
After
US?
my masters.
Acha, okay.
But I was dancing. I was dancing something or the other always.
And you were working in a proper corporate setup, and you decided to come to India?
Yes. So once I came to India, I did look at working, or I did
jobs.
Yeah. And basically what I decided was that I wrote out my vision for what would be the most meaningful work. And I had also written out a few years before that what I would wish my life to be. So there were small things that now I see happen. So I think that gave me a lot of clarity. So I wrote out, this is what, and my mother was, I think, the one who encouraged me to do this. So like a vision statement. So I wrote out what I would wish in my life, for my personal life, for my professional life, for my financial life, my spiritual life, and my economic life. And I actually sat down and wrote it out. And I went back to it maybe a couple of years ago. This is after 10 years, 12 years. And It was amazing that so much of my life now aligned with what I
you
had
scripted years ago.
years ago. And one of the things is growing my own food.
Wow.
So,
Yes.
so sometimes the path looks like it is meandering, but actually, subconsciously, we are taking decisions that is really leading us to fulfillment. So we find our own fulfillment, and it makes sense to us.
So you combined your engineering passion. I mean, the passion that you picked up during your engineering days for an eco-friendly, sustainable, close to nature kind of a setup, and art and culture, which you were also doing simultaneously.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
So you come back and you decided that you were not getting into corporates. You wanted to start this space.
Yes. It kind of happened organically. So I started this space, and then the space needed me more and more.
You had this piece of land as
This has been in our family for 6 generations.
okay. So this land was there in your family for 6 generations.
Yeah.
And you could have done. It's right in the heart of the city. You could have done so much with it, right? You could have made it commercial.
Yes.
But you decided not
Yes,
to.
I think my parents and I really wished for work that would, be good and wholesome for us and for the city. And when I look back at work that my ancestors were also professionals. At the same time, there was always a social element. They always contributed back to the society in a very, very significant and thought out manner. So there, I think that is, really what it first of all it gives, me fulfillment. It also gives meaning, and when we work for our sacred space, it's really a labor of love. And I have seen so many others who value it also come back with the same feeling of it's a space that has fulfilled so many dreams. So
Absolutely. And I was one of them. I was a student here, so I know what you're talking about. It's such a nostalgia to be back. Now this has become popular as a space for a lot of art, and you have a lot of classes here for Bharatnatyam, Kuchipudi, pottery. And so would you say that you had a vision when you came? Would you say today, like you said, yes, your life has turned out as you scripted, but would you say the space has become what you thought you wanted it to be?
yes, actually, I wrote out exactly what I would have liked to see in the space, and it has multiplied. It is, exponentially, I would say. So yes, we have fulfilled, and even some unusual things which at that time when I wrote it out before starting Sacred Space, like I wished we could have non-violent communication, and I did not know of anyone in Hyderabad or Secunderabad who taught it. But yes, we were able to have a festival of non-violent communication. So many workshops, and so yes, each of those dreams became reality, and then they've actually grown exponentially. So in addition to sharing what I felt had benefited me the most in life, I then became the beneficiary of our sacred space, where I got to attend and learn so much from and it came from different sides. I didn't know it was going to be so much manifested.
Yes. God bless. And tell us a little bit about your Adivaram Angadi that you have. Adivaram Angadi means a Sunday market, right?
Yes.
It's a Sunday market that you
Yes.
hold.
So it's the Adivaram Angadi would be like a Angadi is the traditional village
marketplace.
So we have organic produce, we have beautiful handmade, creations from. There's a artist and a craft person in everyone, and So my only request is that it is natural.
Yeah.
So we have.
So you have a precondition that you can set up a place, you can sell your products here, but as long as
It's natural.
purely organic, natural. You
Yeah,
have you
or
take a
it's- yes, we have forms and we curate it. So it's natural or recycled. So handlooms, handicraft, craft that each of us, any member of the society would like to have. And the stalls are free of charge.
So there is absolutely you've I mean your vision for this place, and from my I've come in here for the last 6-7 years, and I think everything is just synchronized, isn't it? Like you don't sell anything that is not in your vision. I don't think anything that is outside of your vision is even allowed inside the space.
Yes, because I feel this is what we really need at this time in our, planet's evolution and in our, the human condition. So yes, we really, initially when we first started, some of my family and our manager at the time said you cannot not have tea and coffee, and they went and brought a vending machine and they had paid a deposit, and I said, I'm sorry, we have to lose the deposit, but I don't think tea and coffee is what we need right now in our lives. So yes, as we work towards that, wellness. So what we do really is focused. While it's large and encompassing a lot of different disciplines, our focus is wellness, art, so folk and classical art, and environment.
Environment.
So it's these three things: art, environment, and wellness. And each of these we look deeply into. We have tomorrow actually a permaculture workshop by Madhu Reddy, who's been steeped in this. She's been working with this for over a decade, So she's done the research, she's an excellent presenter, and she has the farm where she's been working intensively in. So each of our facilitators really brings in that depth of knowledge,
Right.
So that so we've seen people really, take their first step in dance, then do perform.
I know. I was there.
You were there. so like that, we've seen so many dreams. You read your first alphabet. Just look at our Urdu class. My father learned his first alphabet in Urdu in our class. Now he reads. He can read Urdu fluently. So each of this is a dream come true, and every day,
I know. So at this point, I must tell our viewers. So I was, I think, 37 or 38 years old, and I've learned Bharatanatyam as a child for 10 years, and I wanted to come back. But at the age of 38, I was a little embarrassed. Where do I go? I find a guru, all kids. But at our sacred space, we were encouraged to join, and I think our entire class was only adults, beginners.
Yes.
All women above 30, 35. And it's great to have such a space to come back.
And that was something that was really thought out, because I saw that while I was in the US, it was very comfortable to dance as an adult. Whereas, our classical dances are so beautiful, but it was not inclusive. So one of the main things when we started was we wanted to be a safe space for everyone to explore.
Right.
So our oldest student in dance was 83.
Oh, really?
And our oldest student here, he was in our Urdu class. He was a beautiful, beautiful human being, Mr. Ganate, who was 98.
My God.
And such a good student.
You also encourage a lot of, for example, a lot of our instruments are going extinct is the word now. So, do you have space? Do you like
Yes.
mridangam? I think mridangam and all have become so extinct.
I know. No, there is a lot of aliveness and a lot of learning. We had actually a student from the US come and do, he came and stayed in Secunderabad and learned from a senior percussionist here. He was studying music in the US university, and that was a wonderful way of really being a bridge.
Yeah.
So we act as a bridge between different populations.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the rural and the urban, and also the international and the local. So it's very meaningful, and as and when people need, we connect them with musicians.
I've also attended writing classes. Nasima ma'am, I think.
Yes.
So we can talk endlessly about the activities here at Our Sacred Space. There is yoga, there is Kalaripayatra, there is writing, dancing, singing, playing an instrument. What else?
There is
Languages.
and theatre. We have a really thriving theatre community.
Theatre community here.
Yes,
Really?
Yes. Bhumika Theatre is doing Telugu theatre. So
Telugu,
we've done 14 batches at Our Sacred Space.
Wow.
And
Yes, I've attended quite a few plays. So yeah, this is a space where we can even have plays and
yes. And
Tara, recently you've opened another space at Darur.
yes.
What is that?
So that is a permaculture farm where we are working with the local communities.
So your vision of growing your own food.
Yes, that is seeing fruition, and we also have homestays.
Oh,
Yes, and we have a
but
lot
is
of
that also like this?
Yes.
Very close to nature.
is close to nature, and being in the farm, it is so it also really ties in with all of our work there. So we have beautiful spaces there as well. We've used some of the local architecture. So we've got one, bamboo roof which was gifted to us by Progressive Telangana Foundation. Beautiful mud walls that we made ourselves, and we've also got a roof which is the traditional roof of our area, which is the slate stone on wooden beams and rafters. So it just looks so beautiful. Yeah.
But how do you do all this? I don't think running this place can be easy, right? You have not just the financial part of it, but even just managing this whole
Yes.
space is. How do you do it?
With a lot of help from a lot of. So yes, as you saw, my aunt Shobhanti is here, supporting, helping the
But
work.
Tara, help is fine, but you also need people to align with the same vision, isn't
Yes.
it?
I think people aligned with the vision find us, and then our work is so diverse that very often they also connect with other processes that then brings them a lot of meaning and direction. So I see that happening, and I love that. Actually, that intersection. Sometimes it's serendipitous. It's not planned. Sometimes it's I can see it happening. Our dance students, during a dance performance, the theatre group helped us with lights and sound. So the next day was the theatre performance. Our dance students came and they were blown away. Well, dance and theatre have been happening here for 10 years. But when the dancers actually saw the theatre group, then they came again for the next weekend when the same play was showing again with a different cast, because we had too many actors in that batch. And I was delighted to see that, So there you're suddenly getting, otherwise you can have also these little cliques. Dancers are dancers, the, permaculturists are permaculturists.
Yeah.
But I love those
There is
intersections.
there is a common thread.
Yes, when they overlap.
Overlap.
Like we had our footballers. So there's football now at Sacred Space.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yes, and such a wonderful group. Kids and all of us also play.
Really?
So yes, the kids are there. The team is beautiful, and they're improving. Just like we were talking about, and during COVID, kids were indoors, and just long for them to run and
Run and yeah.
really, breathe deep, run, laugh, shout, and we have that all in football. They run, and you can just see the improvement in the children. Wonderful coach. And so, well, when it was raining, of course, that's a sad thing that you don't have football, but they were training inside the hall where there was theatre. It's a big auditorium. So what happened there was they saw bits of the play and they were longing to know what happened.
What is happening?
And there you see those intersections. I constantly see that where, the theatre person is interested in the plants we grow. So how because each of these things that we have here is really, it's all the different aspects of life and they are connected. So we have natural living, a course taught by Shailenderji, we've seen his journey. It's such a authentic journey of exploration, and he shares his journey. So he teaches a course on natural living. We're going to have a course coming up in Darur soon with Shailenderji.
It's a residential
And that will be a residential course. We have permaculture, natural way of growing your food, growing all the wood that you would need to, around your house, really growing everything that you would need, your clothing, your. So now we have, like I said, a course coming up by Madhu Reddy, and we have also Aranya Agricultural Alternatives is planning to do courses, regular courses on permaculture. So these are, and we also have nature cure. So how we eat, how we grow our food, how we entertain ourselves, these are all interconnected.
I know.
And as we connect these dots and look deeper, then we can actually work towards what we really believe. And that becomes very relaxing. When we are able to work and sync with our beliefs, it's relaxing. And it's psychologically comforting. And sometimes it's not that it won't be difficult. Sure, you can have challenges like all of us have seen during the COVID time. The pandemic has challenged, everyone in so many ways. So at the same time, I think finding what we really value and then making that of life's work is the greatest gift we can give ourselves. So I love what you're doing. This is
Yeah, thank you.
I think you're expressing your creativity.
I think so, I hope
expressing your conviction.
And meeting people like you, I think inspires and motivates me. I mean, that is the whole. I think it's a very selfish deed. Now what, Tara? What is your plan for the future? Like say 5 years or 10 years down. How do you plan to do with this? What do you plan to do with this space?
There's so much we can do. So really, each day is full. And that's for me. We have a wonderful manager, Mr. Karthik, who's huge support. So it is a very alive space. So we respond, like during the pandemic, immediately we started a course for kids. We started yoga for seniors. We really felt that these were things that were needed right away.
Yeah.
So one of the kids in our course during the pandemic, after that, when they were able to come, told his mother, he's such a, he's so good at craft. And she said, he's never held a scissors. And when I saw his work, I thought, what a gifted child, and I thought he had actually done a lot of craft
Before.
But no, it just came out right then in that. That was his first time doing it, and so I really feel that that has been one of our strengths. We pivot. Yes, we had to. We had our best month, March of 2020. It was going to be our, we had the most bookings. We returned everything. We shut early because it looked like something that we didn't completely understand, and we didn't want to expose youngsters. So, but we went online very quickly. Within a week, we were online. We did a wonderful series called Tuning In. Very effective information, all it's there on our YouTube channel. And so I think that aliveness, has really been what is
You're able to adapt.
we
Just
adapt
keep. It's like
to the needs of our our community. And one of the things that I would like to see, actually talking about, we are looking at I would like to see a after school program. So kids get support in any studies that they need. At the same time, they also get exposed to all the things that we have here. Because I've seen magic in our summer camps and Dasara camps. You can just see a child with 1 month exposure to music. What magic can come out? So what if this was all year round? Just a couple of hours where the child really can get and then explore what is their
exactly
potential.
Because even as an adult, I could come here because we have Mohiniyattam happening here, we have Bharatnatyam there, there's a writing class in this classroom, there's an instrumental, there's a pottery class, and we could enroll. We saw what was happening, and it was close to us. Right? It was within our reach. Because there are no such places in the city these days where so many things are within your reach at one place. And hence we enroll left, right, center with so many of your workshops.
It is really.
So, thank you so much for talking to me. I just enjoyed talking to you about your vision, and though I was aware of it, but then listening, hearing it from you, kudos to this place, and I wish you all the best in all your endeavors. And I hope the space continues, to be a place where people can come to, and like you said, let it be a sacred space for your soul. I think it's a space for the soul.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.